Hare Krishna. Let us understand Bhagavad Gita as it is, written by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters. So let us understand these chapters section by section. Before we begin the discussion, let us offer our prayers to our spiritual master, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada and Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Today let us understand the fifth section of chapter 6 of Bhagavad Gita. Fifth section is from Shloka number 37 to Shloka number 47. This section is entitled The Fate of an Unsuccessful Yogi. So let us understand this section. Arjuna, he asks a question from Lord Krishna. Arjuna asks, Arjuna Vacha Ayati Shraddhayopeto Yoga Chalita Manasaha Aprapya Yoga Samsiddhim Kamgatim Krishna Gacchati. Arjuna said, what is the destination of the man of faith who does not persevere, who in the beginning takes to the process of self-realization, but who later desists due to worldly mindedness and thus does not attain perfection in mysticism. Kachinno bhaya vibhrashtas chinna brahmniva nashyati apratishto mahabaho vimodho brahmanah pati. O mighty armed Krishna, does not such a man, being deviated from the path of transcendence, perish like a raven cloud with no position in any sphere? So this is a question of Arjuna. He asks that what happens to a person who takes up to a spiritual path and due to flickering nature of the mind, he does not continue, he does not persevere to practice. Just like when there is cloud in the sky and we can see the cloud with some shape, some form, but when wind blows, the cloud gets dispersed and it loses its existence. So Arjuna is asking that by accepting to practice certain spiritual path, one controls his mind, controls his senses, he gives up sense enjoyment, but due to worldly mindedness, due to weakness of the mind, he could not practice, he could not advance spiritually and get spiritual pleasure. So he loses both material enjoyment and he loses both spiritual pleasure. So what is his condition? What happens to such a person? So this is a very nice question asked by Arjuna, and let us see what Lord Krishna replies. So Arjuna says, Etanme samshayam Krishna chetum arhasi asheshataha tvadanyaha samshayasyasya cheta nahi upapadyate. This is my doubt, O Krishna, and I ask you to dispel it completely, but for yourself, no one is to be found who can destroy this doubt. So Arjuna has expressed his doubt about the fate of an unsuccessful yogi, and let us see what Krishna replies. Krishna says, Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Parthanaiveha Namotra Vinashastasya Vidyate Nahi Kalyana Krit Kashchit Durgatim Tata Gacchati. The Blessed Lord said, Son of Pritha, a transcendentalist engaged in auspicious activities does not meet with destruction either in this world or in the spiritual world. One who does good, my friend, is never overcome by evil. So Krishna assures Arjuna that for a transcendentalist who is engaged in auspicious path, he does not meet destruction in this world neither in the spiritual world. So first of all, Lord Krishna assures that even an unsuccessful yogi, he is always safe. There is no danger at all. Further, what happens to such a unsuccessful yogi? Krishna says, Prapya punyakritam lokan ushitva shashvati samaha shuchinam shrimatam gehe yoga bhrashto bijayate. Krishna says that the unsuccessful yogi, after many years of enjoyment on the planets of the pious living entities, is born into a family of righteous people or into a family of rich aristocracy. So first of all, the unsuccessful yogi, he goes to heavenly planets and enjoys there for a long duration of time all the heavenly pleasures, and then again he comes to this world, this planet, and then takes birth in Shuchinam Srimatam Gehe, either in pious Brahmanas families, righteous families, or Srimatam, rich aristocratic families. In these families, the people are pious, they practice devotion, there is all facility for devotional progress. So he is born in such families. And after taking birth, further what happens? Krishna is telling, Athava yoginam eva kule bhavati dhimatam etadhi durlabhataram loke janmayadi idrisham. Or he takes his birth in a family of transcendentalists who are surely great in wisdom. Verily such a birth is rare in this world. So, a transcendentalist, if he has made little spiritual advancement and he has given up spiritual progress, he goes to heaven, enjoys for a long time and takes birth in either rich aristocratic family or pious Brahmanas families. Or if a transcendentalist has made considerable advancement and has given up, such a person takes birth in families where there are yogis. Athava yoginam eva kule bhavati dhimatam. He takes birth in family of transcendentalists who are surely great in wisdom. So, taking birth in a family of a devotee is a very fortunate for the child who has taken birth, because the whole family is a family of pure devotees. Srila Prabhupada says that his spiritual master, Om Vishnupada Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, he took birth in a pure devotee's family. His father was Srila Bhakti Vinoda Thakura, a pure devotee of Lord Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada says that he himself also took birth in a devotee's family, and it was his good fortune. So to take birth in such pure devotees' families is considered to be very fortunate, and this happens to those who have already elevated spiritually sufficiently and have given up the spiritual practice. So they will get birth in such pure devotees' families. So further what happens to them? Krishna says, Tatra tam buddhi samyogam labhate paurvadehikam yatate cha tato bhuyaha samsiddhav kuru nandana. On taking such a birth, he again revives the divine consciousness of his previous life, and he tries to make further progress in order to achieve complete success, O son of Kunti. So, from wherever one has stopped his spiritual advancement in the past life, he continues from that point onwards and further makes spiritual elevation. So, this is the future of a unsuccessful yogi. And then what happens? Purvabhyasena tenaiva haryate hi avashopi saha jignasur api yogasya shabda brahmati vartate. By virtue of the divine consciousness of his previous life, he automatically becomes attached to the yogic principles even without seeking them. Such an inquisitive transcendentalist striving for yoga stands always above the ritualistic principles of the scriptures. So because the yogi has made advancement in previous lives, when he comes across spiritual practices, or when he comes across devotees, when he comes across a temple, anything related to spiritual life, he becomes attracted to all those things. Even though he personally has not tried for it, when he comes across all these divine things, he automatically becomes attracted and picks up from wherever he has stopped his spiritual progress in past life, and he continues making spiritual advancement. And Krishna says, Prayatnadeta yogi samshuddha kilbishah aneka janma samsiddhas tato yati param gatin. But when the yogi engages himself with sincere endeavor in making further progress, being washed of all contaminations, then ultimately, after many births of practice, he attains the supreme goal. So by constant practice, this practice may take even many births, not just in one life. But Bhakti Yoga is so powerful that even in one life, if we sincerely practice the principles of Bhakti under the guidance of a pure devotee, it is possible to achieve perfection even in one life. Otherwise, generally, spiritual progress takes many births. So Krishna is telling that aneka janma samsiddhaha tato yati param gatim. One achieves the supreme goal of entering into the spiritual world. And further, Krishna is now explaining tapasvibhyo diko yogi jnanibhyo pimato dhikaha karmibhyashchadiko yogi tasmad yogi bhavarjuna. A yogi is greater than the ascetic, greater than the empiricist, and greater than the fruitive worker. Therefore, O Arjuna, in all circumstances, be a yogi. Yoginam api sarvesham madgatena antaratmanam shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yuktatamo mataha. And of all yogis, he who always abides in me with great faith, worshipping me in transcendental loving service, is most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. So clearly here Krishna is telling that a yogi, a devotee who is intimately connected with Krishna through love and devotion, he is greatest yogi. So Krishna is telling that a bhakti yogi, a devotee of Krishna, is greater than a karma yogi, is greater than jnana yogi, he is greater than all tapasvis, because he is having faith in Krishna. He has given himself to Krishna. So connecting with Krishna, surrendering completely to Krishna is highest spiritual achievement a soul can achieve. So therefore Bhakti Yogi is the topmost yogi. Here Krishna has clearly told, Yoginam api sarvesham. There are many yogis. Karma yogi, dhyana yogi, jnana yogi. But madgatena antaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yuktatamo mata. Krishna has clearly given his opinion. Among many yogis in this world, one who is connected with Krishna through love and devotion, he is the topmost yogi, he is the highest yogi. So therefore, we have to choose this path of Bhakti Yoga, not any other yoga, because Bhakti Yoga pleases Lord Krishna. Loving Krishna, worshipping Krishna out of love is greatest yoga, and then that gives greatest satisfaction to the soul. So we all have to take to the path of Bhakti Yoga. So let us understand what happens next in the next chapter. Hare Krishna.